this is worrying news we've got coming in. Pakistan's terror group Lashkar-E-Taiba has issued a threat to Kashmiri Hindus, specifically the Global Kashmiri Pandit Conclave that's going to be coming up. I believe that they have also responded. They've said that they've expressed full confidence that agencies will be able to eliminate this threat. Now, my colleague Tejinder is with us. Tejinder, can you tell us more about the Global Kashmiri Pandit Conclave, when it's slated to take place, what its attendance will look like, where it's slated to take place? Then if you could tell us more about this threat.
The Global Kashmiri Pandit Conference will take place in New Delhi on 25th and 26th of February this year. And the aim of this conference is to highlight the atrocities of the terrorists on Kashmiri Pandits. Kashmiri Pandit, the community which is the Aborigines of Kashmir, they were forced to leave Kashmir. They were forced to become migrants within their own country when the Pakistan-sponsored armed terrorism started in Kashmir Valley almost more than 3 decades ago. The Kashmiri Pandits have been facing the persecution on the hands of the terrorists in Kashmir. There has been their genocide, which was clearly displayed in the movie Kashmir Files. So now Kashmiri Pandits, when they are planning to hold this conference, the Pakistan-based terror group Lashkar-E-Taiba's frontal, the Resistance Front has issued a warning saying that they would be targeting this Kashmiri Pandit conference that would be taking place in Delhi. But the Kashmiri Pandits say that they are they are sure that the security agencies would provide adequate security to them and eliminate any threat coming to them. If you remember, of late, Kashmiri Pandits have become the easy target of terrorists. Once again, in the Kashmir Valley, last year we saw the targeted killing of Kashmiri Pandits, including one of the employees of the Tehsil office in Chardura, Rahul Bhatt, who was shot dead from point blank inside his office while he was on duty. And since then, there have been large number of Kashmiri Pandits who were killed by the terrorists. But the Kashmiri Pandits community that has been living in various parts of the country, they say that they would continue with this conference that will be taking place in Delhi, wherein large number of Kashmiri Pandits, besides several who have settled in across various countries as well, the Kashmiri Pandit diaspora would also be participating in this event. Yes, Soya.
Okay, let me just share some data with our audiences, Tejinder, then we'll come back to you. In 2022, 29 civilians were killed. That included 21 locals. Tejinder, the numbers you were talking about, 6 Hindus, including 3 Kashmiri Pandits, were killed. And now that's the data Tejinder was touching on. He was saying, as you could see, that a Global Kashmiri Pandit Conclave is set to take place right here in Delhi in just a few days from now. The focus of the conclave is to highlight the plight of the Kashmiri Pandits. That is, as we just said, the targeted killings that have been taking place through last year across the Kashmir Valley. Now, that security threat remains, targeted killings remain right on top of the agenda for the Indian Army, the CRPF that assists the Indian Army, and of course the Kashmir Police that are all three of those agencies are located in security efforts in the Kashmir Valley. Now, Sushil Pandit is with us. He is a Kashmiri Pandit activist. He's with us on the phone right now. Sir, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us here on CNN News 18. Sir, we're sharing with our audiences this news that there has been this threat, but at the same time that the Global Conclave or the authorities have said that they are confident that the threat will be handled. Sir, do you echo that same confidence?
Yes, I don't think Lashkar-E-Taiba has the capacity to strike in Delhi if they cannot, if today Kashmir is so safe and secure that people in Kashmir are asked to stay there and work in their jobs, government services. If Lieutenant Governor says, we will assure you of security if you go back. If so many tourists are going to Kashmir as claimed by the government, if government itself says that now they will hold elections, return the statehood, if Kashmir has become normal, then where is this threat coming from? I don't understand. Is this some kind of a concoction to bust the government claims, or just to heighten some kind of perception about these terrorist organizations are still existing? I don't think this is a real threat, and we should we should dismiss this as some kind of a joke or just a panic kind of attempt to stay relevant in news. These organizations and these conclaves keep happening. We observe our days like Martyrs' Day, like Exodus Day, like the World Refugee Day, World Human Rights Day. We have round the year some commemoration or the other happening. These events continue to happen, and these threats do come once in a while, but I've never seen any such thing to any event happening in Delhi or outside Kashmir.
Okay, all right, sir. Thank you so much for joining us here on the show. Sushil Pandit expressing confidence, as you can see, that nothing will happen in this situation. Now, we'll bring you more details on this story and more over the next few minutes. The story that we've been focusing on right now is the Lashkar-E-Taiba, based in Pakistan, issuing a threat of sorts to the Global Kashmiri Pandit Conclave that's set to take place right here in Delhi in just a few days from now. As you can see on your screens, on the right side of your screens, we have seen over the last year thousands of Kashmiri Pandits protest. They've demanded that the government offer, contrary to what we were hearing Sushil Pandit say right now, they've demanded that the government offer them safer lodgings and a sense of security. This is after last year Kashmir saw 29 killings, a number of which were targeted killings, 3 of which were of Kashmiri Pandits. These were targeted killings in the sense that once the killing took place, the militant group often in each of these cases made it clear that they were targeted because they were members of the Kashmiri Pandit community. Now, in light of that, the Pandit community has, as you can see on the right side of your screens, on multiple points during the last year, protested. They've asked the government to provide them with safer lodgings and more security for family members of theirs that are working as officials or as government employees across Jammu and Kashmir. They've also asked to be relocated in some cases. That's why, as you can see, hundreds of Kashmiri Pandits on the right side of your screens coming out. Now, all of this comes, you'll remember, as yesterday we reported that the government was considering a withdrawal of the army from Jammu and Kashmir. They will, of course, keep the army on the line of on the LOC, but there are hopes that over the next year they will be able to pull the army out, particularly keep the RR, the Rashtriya Rifles, out and give all anti-terror operations to the CRPF in coordination eventually with the Kashmir police. That is the long-term hope of security efforts. However, as you'll remember, yesterday experts did question whether or not the security scenario was actually improving. While numbers show, or data shows for Kashmir, that the number of terrorists and terrorist outfits have indeed fallen over the last 3 years since the abrogation. At the same time, the number of targeted killings very much continues to increase. As we just told you and as we started this entire story, 29 people were killed last year in Jammu and Kashmir. Now, we'll try to have a reporter join us on this story and bring us more details on this entire story in just a few